Lil Rod is back, and he won some, he lost some, but he got the main ones. Okay, but I'm gonna do a reaction today from Tisa Tales. Um, well, you can find her. It's all in the description of this video, and she can explain it way better than I can, and I'll be back with my reaction. Okay. All right, here we go. Okay.
Hey, what's up, guys? How y'all doing today? Well, baby, if your name is Lil Rod, you actually got a victory in court, even though the Twitter Diddy apologists are trying to spin this as a loss. Y'all, let's get into this because as much as Diddy wants to do a victory dance for a few charges being dismissed from his lawsuit and Lil Rod, baby, it is anything but. Let's get into this. First of all, let's just talk about this, right? As much as people want to throw dirt on Tyrone Blackburn's name, Douglas Wigdor got a lot of charges dismissed too off of his case. It happens. Lawyers throw the kitchen sink. Things get dismissed. But here's why it is not a win for Diddy at all. And baby, the meat of the case, the real thing that's going to put Diddy away for life, the Smex trafficking, baby, that's still on and popping. On top of that, the reason why the RICO charges got dismissed is not because Lil Rod didn't have any proof of it. It's the point that the judge was like, okay, but where are the damages? How did you not getting paid that $50,000 really amount to RICO? Now, I'm going to walk you through it and say, I think that.
And y'all, I love to do the Tisa, cause it's the way she explains it, okay? And yeah, the RICO, as far as the RICO case, the federal government gonna get that anyway. So Lil Rod still sitting pretty to me. All right, but I love the way she can break it down and explain it to us, especially me, so I can understand. Okay, but yeah, Lil Rod, in my eyes, victory.
The judge did a really narrow reading of RICO, but baby, it doesn't matter because if this is Diddy, you going to jail. And the fact of the matter is the judge dismissed a lot of Diddy's corporations, but Diddy is still on the hook for this. Y'all, let's get into this because a lot of misinformation is being passed around. A lot of people are quote tweeting very specific things about the judge saying this and that. Man, okay. I mean, listen, yeah, the judge can feel how they want, but baby, the meat of the lawsuit passed. And anyone that doesn't say that, oh baby, they don't. Okay, so here's a quick breakdown. I talked to the legal eagles, got a little meat, so listen to the notes, right? This is a quick legal breakdown, all right? The RICO claims off the bat are dismissed. The judge found that Lil Rod, Rodney Jones, didn't show a direct financial injury from racketeering conduct. The judge essentially said, this is a breach of contract that you're not getting paid, not a RICO case. Now let's jump in this, right? Why did the judge throw out the RICO claim? There was no direct injury to person or property. Remember I said that one of the big things if you are trying to get injury is not only you have to show that something bad happened, you have to show about how it messed up your pocket.
Yo, hey Ellie, hey Iris 60Z2X. Hey, this is about the Lil Rod case. It's back in the court. Everybody, they was like, talking about, oh, Lil Rod's case got dismissed and he didn't get nothing. So, Tisa always wait till she has the proof and then she brings it and says, bye y'all. In my opinion, can y'all please hit the subscribe button? I appreciate it so much. Thank y'all for coming by Valentine TV. Yes, I'm gonna make this a real quick one, y'all. Real quick. But yeah, just listen to the charges. Yeah, the RICO got thrown out, but guess what? The federal government has it, right? So to me, Lil Rod straight. Alright, here we go, y'all.
The RICO requires Lil Rod to show a financial or property loss connected to the alleged racketeering. The judge said that Lil Rod's only real business loss was not getting paid for producing songs, and that's just a breach of contract, not racketeering. They also said that there was no link between the criminal acts and the contract breach. The judge ruled that things like the alleged sex trafficking, drugs, and violence weren't directly connected to why Jones wasn't paid. I would argue it was. The court basically said you may have a bunch of ugly criminal allegations here, but none of that explains why you didn't get your check for the songs you produced. And they also said the judge didn't see a pattern of racketeering causing the money loss. The judge is stuck on the idea that a RICO pattern, e.g. threats, trafficking, violence, has to directly cause the business loss. They're saying, yeah, Diddy didn't pay you, but that wasn't because of racketeering. Now, I do think the judge is being ridiculous and way over technical. Again, to me, this is too narrow a reading of RICO. Okay? The judge, in my opinion, did ignore the bigger picture where coercion, threats, and alleged criminal activity were part of the power dynamic. And that led to the unpaid labor. And the judges also, and this is sad, and this is where it's like judges need people that know about the industry. The judge is ignoring industry reality. In entertainment, it's often an implied pay-to-play system where people like Diddy can use illegal influence, coercion, and trafficking to control contracts and leverage people. For instance,
Okay. Y'all remember Lil Rod had all those notes. He had all those notes, y'all. And pictures to prove it also. So I think I don't know what the judge thinking on this one. I don't know if it has to be a new judge, but the thing is it was a lot of false dismissal rumors and Tisa is debunking those today. I love to wait because I already know. I already know. And Jerry, please don't come up in here being rude. Nobody's rude over here, right? And I hope you have a blessed day, okay? Alright, here we go, y'all. Hey, Quinty. Y'all, please hit that subscribe button. I appreciate it very much. Okay, I gotta hurry up. Let me see. Okay, sorry.
and Little Rod didn't help Diddy and his going looking for hookers and doing all this stuff and letting Young Miami's cousin rub him up and up.
Exactly.
He felt like he might have had to do that in order to get paid. He might have had to participate in RICO accusations in order to get paid. But there's more. The judge is overlooking the fact that there's often a pay to play implied to control contracts and also leverage people. Now, was Little Rod exploited for labor in an environment of organized crime? I believe that is yes, and I believe that directly ties to RICO. And it smells like RICO to a lot of people. Now, the no direct link argument also, to me, feels tone deaf. If you're working under threats, sexual harassment, and trafficking-like conditions, and you don't get paid, isn't that same coercive environment? Isn't that same
Wait a minute.
disgusting environment?
Yeah, because y'all remember when Lil Rod was talking about that they had to work all them hours and like didn't get to eat. They had to produce and Diddy would come by and allegedly come by with a whole big buffet of food eating in their face and they hadn't eaten in anything. And they was like hallucinating and all that kind of stuff, but they had to get that music out or Diddy was mad, right? And this was inside the studio where food was supposedly not allowed, but Lil Rod figured out a way and snuck him some. Anywho, here we go. Let's just keep rolling. Okay.
Part of the reason why you either didn't demand payment or couldn't demand payment, isn't this what Don Richards and everybody else that's suing Diddy is accusing him of? The judge's strict reading might seem detached from real world power imbalances. Again, I think it's a double standard because Little Rod is a man. Because celebrities and businessmen always get away with turning businesses into an organized crime playground. But when the victims call the criminal enterprise RICO, courts turn around and say, no, that's just a contract issue. But baby, listen, forget all that because listen, he won on what's important. Fine, you didn't get the RICO. The federal government, and again, the judge did not say there was no RICO. The federal government is charging for RICO. They're just saying, well, Little Rod not getting his money The judge doesn't think Rico was responsible. Again, it's very tone deaf, but it is what it is. Now let's get into the real thing.
He got exactly what he was supposed to, the main important thing that will help him and his wife and family. You know what I mean?
The TBPA SMEX trafficking claims. That is the bulk of the claims. That's where Diddy's going to be paid, going to have to pay seriously and be held accountable. And that's what's probably going to put him in jail for the rest of his life. Those claims survived against Diddy and Christina Coral. The judge did find plausible allegations that Lil Rod was coerced into commercial SMEX acts via threats and manipulation. Okay? Now, she did dismiss the charges against Combs Global. That's his business entity. But not Diddy personally. Diddy is still on the line. He's still on the line personally. And again, we got to look at the judge. Again, it's what the judge is, thy will be done. But let me just say, how can you say that he was coerced into...
Y'all, when she say that will be done, it means God gonna take care of that. That's what she means by that. Thy will be done. All right. Y'all know I have to stop it every few minutes. Y'all know how it go. Some of y'all. But anyway, here we go. Let's we get into the good part now.
Commercial SMEX acts via threats and manipulation, but the government is saying that he runs a RICO thing through coercion. But you know what? Whatever. The state tort claims of sexual assault and premise liability. The sexual assault charges survive against Diddy. The premise liability claims survive against Diddy relating to assaults by third parties. Okay? Cuba Gooding Jr. and the other guy, the judge wants them to be served. Great. And again, they are saying that the emotional distress claims are dismissed for lacking specifics. Again, I think the judge is being too narrow, but it doesn't matter. You got him on the SMEX trafficking for federal. That's going to be heavy buku money. And who cares if Diddy's companies were dismissed? Diddy is on the line. And again, KK's on the line too. State tort claims of SA, that also survives. Okay? These are the strengths. Again, I just want to say it. The SMEX trafficking claim staying alive is a huge deal. Don't let any Twitter lawyer with their, and no shade to Twitter lawyers because y'all know I love you. And y'all, but I'm using that as an example because there's a lot of people that are trying to act like they are Twitter legal reporters and they're unbiased when they are literally doing spin very badly for Diddy's side and the powers that be, It's funny, they say YouTubers do things for a click and a view, but imagine doing things just to get a text message because you want to get an inside, and every time you get this inside info, you end up looking stupid because every single time they predicted how a case was going to go, it goes the wrong way. And
Yeah, I had to let her get that out because people always talking. They always saying Tisa didn't tell the truth. Tisa didn't do this. Tisa waits on the court documents, y'all. She waits on the court documents. So I just wanted to bring that little bit by. I have the description. Tisa's in the description of this video. Y'all, please go over and watch her channel. And if y'all, for the rest of it. But I have to go right now. I love y'all. And I'll talk to y'all later. Y'all, please subscribe to Valentine TV. It will get better. I promise. All right. Thank you for your likes. I see them. All right. Bye, y'all.